Hey guys, welcome back to Nature's Cadence Farm. We are on location here at Granny's house, and I don't know if you can see here, but I've got a really kind of cool tool. This is a Robin brand NB26. There, if you can read that, there you go. It's a brush cutter, and it's about 30 years old. My dad bought it back in 86, 87, somewhere around in there, so 30 years old. Still runs. It's needed some fixing over the years and some things done to it. Namely, I just rebuilt the carburetor before we started doing the videos and everything, so you know, that was one big thing, and I replaced some gaskets in the engine, and a new fuel line and a filter and everything. It wasn't difficult, but you know, it's been used, but it's not really abused, you know. So, but today I'm going to be doing some brush cutting, and I've got this blade on the end of it here. You can see it looks like a sawtooth. And what I'm going to be doing is actually taking this off and putting on a more of a brush blade. This is kind of for cutting trees down, which is fine. I don't have any trees to cut down. I've got some kind of vines and some other smaller things to cut. So let's try out the new blade. I just got this, and I've never tried one before. I've only ever used one of these. So let's get this one off and get the new one on and get down there and see what we can do. So you can see here there's a little hole right here, and what you do is you put a nail or a tool of some kind down inside of here, and it catches a little notch that's in the receive washer. So let's I just wanted to show you that before I started pulling it off. So over here we've got a 13 millimeter nut that holds the thrust washer and nut, or the thrust washer, onto the blade. So 13 millimeter socket, and these are right hand threads, so this is going to be opposite of a normal thread, if you want to call it that. So take that, loosen that up, and that pops right off, and this is the receive washer, and you can see it has that little notch in there, and that's what I was catching on the back side with that hole. So that's how you hold it still, so you don't have to have your hand kind of in the way of the blade and everything. So what I did was I went to our local True Value and I picked up this saw blade. But what I did was I took one of our old blades with me so I could match up what's called the arbor size. And the arbor is what fits onto the receive washer, so you can see this fits inside of there nice and snug. And then the thrust washer is actually cupped, so you can see kind of it's recessed a little bit. So what that does, when this goes in here and sandwiches on there and everything is lined up, this is also splined, so it fits right on the shaft. It holds the blade nice and tight. This is the exact parts you need for putting a brush cutting blade on a weed eater. If you try to do it with something else, like a set of nuts and washers or something like that, you're not guaranteeing that the blade will be centered properly on the shaft. So you don't want to have it out of balance, because this thing really spins up fast on these weed eaters, and I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one. So we got So I matched up the arbor size here, hold on, and here. So this is what I ended up picking out. There was a couple of different options. There was one that was a triangle. There was one that looked like a chainsaw tooth, and they're all around the outside perimeter. They looked great. I like the idea of this one because I can take my Milwaukee battery-powered angle grinder down with me, and if I end up hitting a rock or something and I dull one of these edges, I can just take the angle grinder, you know, right there on the spot and just kind of knock that back. You can see it's got like a little edge to it there. So we're gonna try it out, and it looked like about the same diameter, so it wasn't going to interfere with what's left of the little debris shield. But let's put this thing on here. So again, receive washer first, the one with the deep cup to it. So that goes into the splines on the shaft. This goes this way, fits perfect. Glad I brought the old one with me. Then the thrust washer goes there. And remember, these are right-hand threads. This has a lock washer built into it. So you actually have to put the lefty-tighty instead of righty-tighty. So it's the opposite. So remember that. So I've still got my keeper in place back here. And remember, you take it the opposite way to tighten it down. So kind of put a little tension on there. You can rotate that around, make sure it's not funky looking. So we've got our 2-cycle gas here. Put it in a little 1-gallon can because I use a lot of it, but I don't like to leave it sitting around because it sometimes separates and stuff. But anyways, this takes a 50-to-1, and I use the Echo Red Max. It has the stabilizer and the 2-cycle oil mixed into it. So let's get a little bit in here. So the starting procedure on an NB26 or similar of this vintage Robin brand trimmers, this has a Walboro carburetor with this little sight glass on the side. So you pump the primer bulb up until you start seeing the green fill with gas, but not the red part. So that's where you stop. You turn on this switch right here on the handlebars, pull the trigger, lock it down, and hold on, and alright guys, well you saw the brush cutting blade in action. Here it is. I hit a few rocks with it. You can see like a little gouge there. No biggie. Gonna sharpen it up, but all in all was very impressed. So thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.